My dear students of 11th class, today in your botany we are going to move to a new unit, that is the plant physiology, and we are going to take up transport in plants. And now there are different ways and means by which the transport of different types of materials that take place within the plant systems, and that we are gonna discuss in the coming classes. And today we will make ourselves know to what actually we are going to study in the next few classes, and this is the introductory lecture of the plant physiology, in which we are going to take up the transport in the plants. So water reaches the top of the tall trees. You know that water has to reach the top of the tall trees. Substances move from one cell to another in order to make life processes possible in plants. Without water, life is not possible. As you know that water is one of the components in the photosynthesis, which takes place in the plants and makes them autotrophic. And in plants, molecules are moved over very long distances. You may have seen certain trees which are of tremendous height. Even the trees are found which are almost 100 meters or more in height, and the materials are to be moved from the roots to the top of the trees, such that so that the essential processes that have to take place may occur. Now, in plants, molecules are moved over very long distances, more than the animals too, because of the size of the plants and the animal size. When compared, the animals are much more smaller in size than the plants. And plants do not have a circulatory system. You know that there is a circulatory system in case of the animals, which carry out the function of the transport, and whereas in plants there is no circulatory system. And water is taken up by the roots and needs to reach all parts of the plant, even up to the growing tip of the stem. Water has to reach every nook and corner of the plant. Also, the food synthesized by the leaves, that is photosynthetes, have also to be moved to all parts, including root tips, which are deep in the soil. And besides movement across short distances within the cell, across the membranes, and from cell to cell within the tissues, has also to take place. A transport process in the plants can be understood when one has the basic knowledge about the structure of the cell and the anatomy of the plant body that we have already dealt with. We must have the understanding of diffusion, and these are certain processes, the know-how of which we must be having so as to understand the transport system in the plants fully. So, we must have the understanding of diffusion, chemical potential, and ions. And in flowering plants, the substances that need to be transported are water, mineral nutrients, organic nutrients, and plant growth regulators. These are the materials which are to be transported from one part of the plant to another. So, over small distances, substances move by diffusion. That means from cell to cell, tissue to tissue, the substances move by diffusion, and by cytoplasmic streaming supplemented by active transport, which we are going to deal with in detail in the coming classes. So, for small distances, substances move by diffusion and by cytoplasmic streaming supplemented by active transport. Transport over large distances proceeds through the vascular system. Transport over large distances proceeds through the vascular system. You must be remembering the vascular system in case of the plants comprises of the xylem and the phloem and this is called as the translocation. The direction of the transport is to be considered. That is very important. In rooted plants, transport in the xylem, that is water and the minerals as absorbed by the roots, is essentially unidirectional. It is absorbed in the roots and then moved over to other parts of the plant from roots to the stem. Organic and the mineral nutrients, however, undergo multidirectional transport. Organic compounds synthesized in the photosynthetic leaves are exported to all other parts of the plant, including storage organs. And this occurs through another conducting tissue of the plant that you must be remembering is known as the phloem. From storage organs, they are re-exported wherever needed and they are carried to such places. And mineral nutrients are taken upwards to stem, leaves and growing regions. When any plant part undergoes senescence, is about to die, nutrients may be withdrawn and moved to growing regions. Hormones are also transported in a strictly polarized or unidirectional manner. Hormones, are the plant growth regulators, which are produced in at certain places in the plants, but in small amounts, and need to be carried to the places where they have to operate. It is in a strictly polarized or unidirectional manner. Hence, transport mechanism in flowering plants is very complex, and this we are going to continue to our next class, inshallah. Thanks. Have a nice day.